In this video, I'm going to teach you how to do Blueline Boing. It looks like this. Just like that. Now, before you learn this trick, you really have to make sure that you have a good understanding of the 1A trick Boingy-Boing. And it's really important to make sure that it's not just a trick that you do kind of wildly, but that you have a lot of good control on it. And by control, what I mean is that you're able to actually do the trick and kind of control the speed and tempo of the trick. You can make it speed up, you can make it slow down, and yet still do the trick. The second thing is, before you can start, we're going to have to teach you a Boingy-Boing variation called over-under boing. And you can do this just with your dominant hand, get into a split bottom mount. And what we're going to do is, when we do the Boingy-Boing, instead of doing front string and then popping right back into the back string, what you're going to do is you're going to hit the front string and actually let it drop under your finger. And you see it'll come back a little bit. And then you're going to use that forward momentum and pull up on your finger to come up, hit the back string, and then let it slide underneath your index finger again. Pull up. So you can see you kind of get this kind of up and over motion over your opposite index finger, a little bit of a rock, and you can kind of get good at controlling the tempo on that too. So once you've worked on that a little, you've gotten comfortable with it, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to combine those two versions of Boingy-Boing. Regular Boingy-Boing is what your dominant yo-yo will do, and over-under boing is essentially what your non-dominant hand is going to do. And before we get started, I'm going to show you a very broken down version of the trick that's slowed down here in a second. But what I want to do is explain a couple things. One is the trick's going to be done a little bit slow, and it's important to realize that the speed of the trick is being set by your top yo-yo. And what you're going to find is that the direction is also being set. So when your top yo-yo moves forward, the bottom yo-yo will also move in that same direction or back. The other thing you'll find is that in the trick, there's going to be maybe some extra boings that the top yo-yo does when the bottom yo-yo doesn't move. And when you first get started, that's especially true. You might find it's comfortable to do a couple extra boings before you move the bottom yo-yo again. And that's perfectly fine. In fact, when you get really good at the trick, you'll find that for every time the bottom yo-yo moves, the top yo-yo does 2 boings. It goes forward and back. So to get started, we're going to get into a Blueline Mount. It's a good idea to shorten your string. You can do barrel rolls. I like to do just a flourish. You want to make sure that your non-dominant hand is in front. And to start, you're going to do a boing, and at the same time you do that, you're going to mount the yo-yo over your finger. Then if you do another boing, on the boing back, you're going to dismount. And so that's kind of the first place to get started at, is to really work on, as you do the boing forward, you mount the yo-yo, bottom yo-yo over your opposite index finger. And as you do your second boing on the boing back, you unmount the bottom yo-yo over the index finger. And you want to get comfortable with that. And then what we're going to do next is actually the very opposite. So I'll show you that too. If we get back into our Blueline Mount, shorten our string. So we've mounted. On the boing back, we unmount. We're going to do another boing, and on the boing back, we're going to mount the yo-yo on the opposite side of the index finger, then forward, and we'll unmount. So you can see, again, what we've done is essentially an over-under boing. And as this yo-yo moves forward, we're mounting the yo-yo in the same direction. And then we do a boing, and as it moves back, we unmount. We do a boing forward, and on the back, we mount the yo-yo in the same direction. And as we boing forward, we unmount in the same direction. So that's the basic pattern. And again, you really want to work on it slow. If you have to do extra boings, it's no problem. Once you start to get a little better at it and you're feeling more comfortable, you want to try and work on your pacing a little. Try to get it a little bit more smooth. Really work on getting that timing just right. Again, ideally, there are 2 boings forward and back for every time that the bottom yo-yo moves. One final tip that's going to help with this trick is, as you're going into Boingy-Boing, if you're mounted in the string, as you do it, you'll notice your dominant yo-yo might slide down towards where the kink is, and that kind of messes up the trick. So the biggest tip for that is to actually take this loop over your finger here when the yo-yo's on it and pinch that, and you can actually just practice regular Boingy-Boing like that. It's a good idea. Just get comfortable with it, because when you're in the Blueline Boing, you want your thumb pinched. That'll help keep the yo-yo in the right distance and the string proportions correct, which makes the trick easier. Other than that, this trick just takes a lot of practice. Once you've got it down, you just want to keep working on building up your speed and your tempo little by little, just like you would with regular boingy boing. And once you've got it, that's Blueline Boing.